Hello, people of Earth, and welcome to the Shy Baines Get Nowt podcast. The podcast where, well, I haven't actually thought of an intro for this one, but it's a family podcast where we talk and reminisce about the past. I ask questions about my mother's past or family members' past, and we just generally have. Well, for the majority of the series, it'll be mother-son talk.
Yes.
About just stuff, life, what we think of things.
And I've got a long past.
A long past. There you go.
Yes.
How are you, mother?
I'm very well, thank you, son. I am so well.
One of the questions I was going to ask you
Right.
at the early sort of stage was, so how long have we known each other?
Well, actually, I've known you longer than most people.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's fair to say.
I think that's fair to say, yes, because I knew I was having a boy. Mm-hmm. So you were Robert.
Yeah.
About halfway through my pregnancy, so I knew you were having a boy. So you were Robert from that moment. And, I mean, obviously I didn't know what you looked like.
No.
But it was exciting because I was able to, it sort of seemed a personality.
Yeah.
It was easy. I mean, not that there was many nice shops for children's clothes and things there.
No.
But going into mother care, I don't know what the mother care's
I
around
don't
now.
think I know.
I think it's closed like everything else, British Home Stores and all that. But I was able to sort of stop looking at the pink and
Right opposite the wall with sentence.
yeah. But no, it was.
It was Mother Care wasn't Mother Care in the corn mill, and then it was opposite. It was opposite.
No. You see, no.
No, that was the Early Learning Centre.
That was the
Early Learning
Yes.
Centre. Another franchise that has died off in the last 30 years.
Mother Care was between Marks and Spencer's, gone.
Yeah.
British Home Stores, gone.
Yeah.
So Mother Care was right in the middle.
Okay.
And I got your pram from there, but it was nice. However, I didn't go much for the blue anyway.
No.
It was, I sort of, well, your nursery was lemon and mint green.
Neutral.
Yes,
neutral.
it was, yeah. And that wasn't because I didn't know. It was just because I just didn't want to. I didn't want to get into the blue and the only blue I didn't sort of buy baby blue boy clothes. I just bought you nice clothes.
Yeah.
And then of course having a godfather that used to travel, he used to bring you things from abroad. So that was So he had some nice unusual things. So yeah, that was and in the first flush of my pregnancy, when I was so excited, and I found out Dad and I went to Metro Centre, and there was like a baby boutique, and I looked in the window and I saw this lovely little outfit which was unisex.
Yeah.
I saw what I thought was the price, but actually it was only one part of the outfit.
Yeah.
But I went in and I was just so excited. And I know this doesn't sound a lot of money now, but if you go back to 1993, I paid 65 quid for this outfit. And I didn't care.
Well, that would be the equivalent of now, really.
I would say
today's money.
Paying about £150 for a baby outfit.
Wow.
And
how many times I wear it?
Once. And you were sick. So you only had it on for an hour.
Oh dear.
I still got it though.
We've got a picture in it.
Do you know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Because you didn't.
It wasn't. Not enough time to get the camera out.
No.
Get out of the camera bag.
No.
Because at that point you would have to get out of the camera bag and...
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, life's sort of digitally really easy now.
Yeah.
For people,
just
generally.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, we had a movie camera, but it was it had little tapes, but they were VHS.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it was like a small tape, but then you have to put it into a bigger tape to actually play onto the...
That's correct. Yeah,
VHS
to slot
player.
it. But what I have done with all the VHSs, I have put them on DVD.
Yes.
But I've still got the tapes as well. Because I still have it's up in the loft. We still have a player that can transfer DVD VHS to DVD.
Yeah.
Probably the other way around, I would think. Yeah.
Well, the next step after that will be put on digital.
I know. Well, I'll leave that one. I'll have to leave that one to you. But Yeah, because no. But this just goes to show how much technology has come on even since you were born.
Definitely, yeah.
When you were not very old, I went out and bought a computer. Well, first of all, I had what they called a word processor, and you had to load it with a floppy disk. I mean, and it was a floppy disk as well. It wasn't. It was what they called floppy disks, but were hard.
Yeah.
You had to load it. Then I bought I can't remember the name of it. It was an all-in-one.
Compaq.
It was a Compaq, yeah.
And I remember the Compaq.
That because I gave you that.
We've been recently looking over old photographs, and
was there a picture of it?
there was a picture. There was one picture that we found where it was. I think it was in the loft, and I think I must have been playing something on it.
Yeah. I mean,
but it was the first computer where I could use it and like use it for games and.
But do you know what the memory was?
A megabyte, or like
520 meg. 520. It was a half. I think it
Half
was less
a
than
gigabyte.
half a gigabyte.
Yeah.
And the dial up. I mean, it was AOL dial up,
AOL,
and you had to wait to dial up, and it was that long noise. We paid a penny a minute for AOL.
Use it at the same time as the phone.
Yeah, you couldn't. Penny a minute for AOL, and then it was about a penny a minute for BT.
Yeah.
And you had to be very, very careful. And things took ages because it was only the modem was only the equivalent of a fax machine.
Yeah.
Horrendous. You couldn't download a photograph or anything. It was awful. When I think back now, it was but it was an all-in-one. And do you know that computer cost me £1,000?
Wow.
£1,000.
That's interesting because you can get computers for less than that.
I know, but that computer cost me £1,000. I got it on terms. Obviously, I didn't have £1,000 to spare. We didn't have £1,000 in those days.
Yeah.
So I had to pay for it monthly. And you had to buy, I think it was Microsoft 3.1.
Microsoft 3.1.
3.1. But it was lovely because it was like a filofax.
Yeah.
I quite like that one. But yeah, it was easy. It was easy, and it was like you had tabs, and you just pressed on the tabs.
I strangely think I might remember that.
And you could change it was like you could change the cover of the colours, but yeah, it had tabs.
I remember when we were at one of the things I think it was quite new when we were at primary school, where there was a computer room, and I think it was quite new for the primary school. It was quite a big thing. I also remember the computers there had there wasn't a desktop. It was literally just folder after folder on screen, almost like in a Tetris sort of fashion.
That's right.
It was like the sort of same sort of thing.
Yeah, but this looked like a filofax.
Yeah.
But the screen on the Compaq was not that big. But the fact that I only had a small desk, so where our stairs are up into the loft, that was a room before the loft was done. So I only had a small desk because we had wardrobes behind.
Yes.
And then, so Dad had to make me a slim desk. Mm-hmm. So that's why I got an all-in-one, because it was
no other room to
do it.
Yeah.
But it was actually state-of-the-art. That's why it was so expensive.
Right.
But not only was the computer expensive, but then I had to buy the software on top.
Yeah.
So
what did you use the computer for? Like, we sort of think using a home computer nowadays can be just used mainly for, just using it for like social media, or if you're doing gaming or stuff like that. But
to be honest, I got into a couple of chat rooms.
Yeah. Don't you?
Actually, some of them were, but no, there were. There were. I had to because there was chat rooms like for the over 40s and chat rooms for the there was. I know there was. Yeah, well, could be. Yeah, there was a few dodgy ones, and you were sort of contacted by people you didn't want to be contacted by.
Right. Okay.
So you'd come out of that chat room, and I got
talk like an anonymous sort of chat room sort of thing, because there is obviously that kind of thing nowadays.
You put your own handle on it. You didn't have to sort of say your name.
Right. Okay.
I always called myself the same thing, but so that's where my Bumblebee 43 comes from.
Oh, okay.
Bumblebee 43.
There's a reference for you there for like old old Rob Cam blogs and stuff.
Yeah, Bumblebee 43, because I was 43
At the time of
at the
making the account,
time.
yeah.
Not that I was born in 43, you understand. I was born much later than that. Not much later. But anyway, yeah, so that's where Bumblebee 43 came from, because I was 43 when I was doing all this. I was 40, nearly 41 when I had you. So you were only little. So that's the handle I always used. I didn't want to use sort of Brenda or anything like that. So I did that. But yeah, I used to get into chat rooms. And to be fair, just like you, in a way, you met people who you clicked with.
Yes.
But you didn't see them because it took you way too long if you wanted a photograph. You couldn't honestly.
No, it was less instant sort of.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
But you had to be very careful. And I got some, it was a bit scary actually, because I got some big AOL bills and big BT bills. So you had to, at first you're on it all the time, but then you get the bills in and you think, oh Christ, so you and then other things I use.
It's like as well, like when we went on holiday and stuff, a big thing which you don't necessarily see anymore is internet cafes.
Internet cafes, we had to pay for it.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I were on about an hour.
And even though it was like a limit, you like sort of
Yeah.
get everything you needed done in an hour.
Internet cafes, yeah, because we used to travel
But
to that one.
That's really
Dad used to
unheard of
go
now.
off and do whatever he did, and
Yeah.
and me and you used to be on the computer, didn't we?
Yeah, because that was the only time of we were away in. Usually it was Spain, wasn't it?
That's right.
There wasn't anything data.
No,
No. Places we stayed didn't have Wi-Fi.
No.
That was our
yeah.
point of communication.
You either took, because they didn't have a lot of English TV either, so you either took videos or
DVD,
or DVD
Yeah.
things.
You used to fill a lot of DVDs in
That's
a slip case, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So you can see, even in your short lifetime, how things have progressed. Going back to when I was younger, which I actually going back to when I was younger. Sort of, I was a young girl in the 60s. So I was there. I watched the first episode of Doctor Who, which actually was postponed because of the death of the assassination of JFK.
And it was reran the week after because of that.
Yeah. So
and before the next episode.
So and that was the days when, I mean, obviously black and white, but that again, when you look back at how scary it was, and it's like bubble wrap and cling film and foil, and the Daleks were out. They were terrifying, but
wobbly sets.
But they couldn't. Yeah, wobbly sets, but they couldn't. They could only go on like flat surfaces.
Yeah.
You know, and if they put a cloak down, it buggered them. You know, because it had to be like a smooth, flat surface. So, but it was scary. And when that music came on, I mean, you were literally goose pimples. Honestly, it was so scary. Yeah. But I think we're desensitized to certain things now. Because the worst part about it is, I think, of nowadays. I mean, I love technology. I think it's absolutely fantastic. But I think the downside of technology is things are too instant.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We're desensitized to bad things even on the news sometimes. I know you think it's awful and war and whatnot, but going back when things weren't as instant, and I mean, I wasn't in the Second World War or anything, but I imagine the atrocities were kept to the people who were part of it.
Yes.
And you just had to use your imagination. And then obviously bombing cities like London and whatnot. I mean, my grandma, your great grandma, she walked down Northgate when there was an aeroplane shooting, and the bullets went into the things. Wow. You know, the thing is, I was just saying to your dad actually the other day, I wish I'd spoken more to my gran. And I was only 10 when my dad died. Yeah. Your granddad. I wished I'd had the foresight to write things down. I was only 10, I wouldn't be interested.
Yeah.
I knew something about him. I know that he was a chief engineer in the merchant navy. And I know he always told us the story of, I've discovered since, it was called Operation Pedestal.
Right.
And I'm trying to find the crew members I'm doing a bit of research on Ancestry at the moment, trying to find some crew members. And there was 14 ships set off from Gibraltar to Malta, or the other way around, I can't remember which.
Okay.
And only 4 of them made it. They were accompanied by submarines and things like that to protect them, because they were taking fuel.
Oh, right, okay.
So it was important. They were taking fuel. And I think every single ship was damaged, and the 4 limped to their destination. And my dad was on one of the 4.
Right, okay.
And something in the back of my mind, I maybe should have asked our Pat, because she was older than me, obviously, when Dad died. Something in the back of my mind thinks that my uncle, I think he was part of the Navy as well, but it was merchant Navy anyway.
Okay.
So he was sort of chief engineer.
Oh, okay.
Flat cap and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I can't find. I'm looking at details, but the problem is, you go on Ancestry, and I know we've done DNA tests as well.
Yeah.
But you go on Ancestry, and then they expect you to pay if you want to find some other information.
Yeah,
so if you want to go into like military records, some military records are there.
Paywall sort of thing.
Yeah, like my dad's dad, his military records there.
Yeah. And
about my gran getting his pension, because he was injured in the First World War.
Right.
So I've got that. And there's certain records you can get, but then the military ones, I think you have to start paying for, which I may do. Before I pop my clogs, I might do that, because it might be nice for you to have some. And that's the reason we did the DNA test, really, because I think the problem is nowadays we've got so much ability to record what you're doing, and it's there. It's there. And even if you just wanted to sit and put things on a computer, then you would literally have to sit and write things out, and we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't. And we weren't a wealthy family where a lot of people had what is it called? The movies where it's on a reel, is it something 8? Is it some
8 mil?
I don't know. Yeah, it was on a reel, on a like a tape.
8mm film.
Yeah, 8mm. Yeah. I mean, some families were wealthy enough to have that, but we weren't. I think we had a Kodak Brownie. We got very few photographs. Yeah. Actually, a little Kodak Brownie was a little plastic thing. So.
And then with obviously with everything being so instant as well, obviously a big riser at the moment is whether that is real or not in regards to if it's AI or if it's
that's scary. Yeah, that scares me.
It's very recently they've updated certain AI video platforms in terms of like generating video, and that is the latest one's pretty scary in terms of how realistic they can do it. I think that this side of the technology and the developments, this scares me because I'm me, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I mean 9/11. Honestly, I am a big one, and I've had plenty of heated discussions. Would you say? Interesting discussions with people who. And I don't believe we walked on the moon either. So, I'm there. Yeah. I'm not sort of 100% sure of my theories, but I'm certainly not 100% sure that the conspiracies aren't valid either. Just by the evidence that people have come out with. And it's like we'll never know. And it's like they released the JFK tapes. That was always a thing. And you find Lee Harvey Oswald wasn't the lone shooter. I've known that. I felt as if I've known that all my life, although I probably didn't even
it probably even wasn't on my radar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am a big conspiracy theorist. I like. Well, I think it leads to interesting discussions as well.
Yeah.
It does,
Sort
because, you know...
Debates.
And debates, that's the better word, yeah. I think, yeah, debates, because it's... I've got people, like Bev's husband, Steve, I mean, me and him sort of like lock horns in a very, very... I mean, he finds it very interesting because we lock horns on a few things, you know. But... we never fall out.
No.
We never fall out. It's never... It never ends... it never ends sort of with bad feeling. We always say, well, I really enjoyed that. You know, you go out for a drink and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And he's very much like me when we all went to New York together. Him and me always seem to choose the same things, like off a menu. And we have like similar tastes in that way. And your dad and Bev chose similar things. So him and I are quite alike in certain things.
Yeah.
But then we have these debates. I like that better.
Clashes.
That's a better word, yeah. And it's funny. But I do like that. I don't think it's... I think it's healthy.
It's healthy to question stuff. For sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, I think you should question everything, really. But yeah, getting back to technology and things, AI really, really scares me.
It's there's a big debate in AI in itself, because...
What do you mean about taking jobs and stuff?
Taking jobs, but whether it's a tool or using it as a tool or using it as a replacement. There's a big... I think I've discussed it a little bit on another podcast. But there are tools available that helps in terms of productivity, which
yes,
I agree to a certain degree with that sort of stuff.
And the health sector.
The health sector, yeah. Things like that stop
diagnostic stuff.
Stop processes that are getting away of other more important sort of things.
Yeah.
There's ones I don't agree with in regards to replacing talent.
No. So
there's a lot of AI that is replacing like voiceover artists,
terrible,
or even in some degree the stuff that I do.
Yeah.
There are tools out there that just go out there to replace real life people.
Yeah, but the thing is, whilst it's good and whilst it's
there'll be a point
convincing.
Yeah,
I still think our brains
know something's off.
Yeah, and also our brains, you cannot replicate the brain,
No.
I don't think. I really don't. I think you've got these robots and that can hold a conversation with you and stuff like that.
Yeah, so
and they can develop.
Of course they will, but there's still things like expression and just...
An emotion.
Yeah, expression and emotion. It's just like...
But also...
Performance, just in general.
But also, we dream. Mm-hmm. You know, we dream and we
like with like an artist's eye, for example.
Yes.
So if you're generating an image or generating a video, it's just basically using reference of something else.
Yes.
So there's no... It's basically taking loads of images and averaging it out and generating something that is similar to someone else's stuff.
That's right.
That's basically what it's doing.
And we are, to be honest, at the end of the day, every person is individual. We carry some traits from our parents, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
You and I were talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
We carry the traits from our parents. But apart from that, it's imagination. I just don't think there's anything replacement for the human brain. No. And I don't care how clever these things become and the ideas that come out of a person's mind, because a person's mind, AI is built on the average, as you say.
Yeah.
But a person's mind, take, for instance, a serial killer.
Yeah.
I know we don't want to go down that road. I know. But a serial killer has a brain that we can't imagine.
Yeah.
And what that person the viciousness of crimes and stuff like that. You can't replicate that, I don't think.
No.
And then you've got, on the other side of it...
Well, they'd want to either, but...
No. But then on the other side, you've got the divinity side of it, where people like the Pope and their reasoning, and the very clever monks and things like that.
Yeah.
And I just don't think I just don't think AI works if you're taking averages. I know it's clever, and I know it's and that's why it's scary, because I don't want it to replace people.
No.
I think it's fantastic, because I saw something where some AI thing it found cancer before the human eye did.
Yeah.
On an X-ray, I believe.
Yeah.
I saw something just the other day, and I think that is fantastic, because the number of people who go for these tests and then wait till a lot of people get together and start discussing this image, and this AI points it before ever it even develops, and you think, wow. I mean, I don't know where it's going to stop.
I don't think it will stop. I think that's the truth of it. There was...
Jesus, I wonder what it's like in your lifetime when I'm long gone. I don't know. When you're my age, Jesus.
Yeah. We'll have headsets on permanently and be in a virtual world of it. We'll laugh at about that. I think that's...
Yeah. No.
It's the sort of the whole escapism and stuff like that. I think it will go to that degree at some point. I think the way AI is going and the realism aspect of it, with more and more jobs in danger, more and more just general humans getting affected by it. Yeah, there's going to be more and more people benefiting from it. And
then more and more people.
There'll be more of a backlash. Yeah, there'll be a big backlash at some point. I think that's probably coming in the next few years.
Yeah,
I think before 2030
there'll
be a big... And I think the people, the businesses, the companies that are using AI, there'll be a whole sort of thing of we don't use AI, and it's almost like a company image sort of thing.
Yes.
I think that'll be a big thing before even 2030.
We don't use single-use plastics. We don't use... Do you know, in advertising, because obviously one of my careers...
There was actually, we were watching a... Sorry.
It's all right.
We were actually watching a Doctor Who episode. I don't know if you've seen this one. It had an interesting sort of line in it, which is clever because it was on the sort of right sort of path. But the company in the episode had a... it was set in the far, far future. And the company was really proud and they're proud of the fact that they've got a 10% organic workforce.
Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
It's sort of... I was like, that's a nice sort of way of putting a...
Organic. Jesus.
Organic workforce.
Oh my God. No, when going back to advertising, when obviously I was in advertising when before computers started, it was like free newspapers. The advertising paid everybody's wages, and I loved that career. That was the one before I had you.
Yeah.
There was always this thing when we did our training and our presentations and everything, that this dairy. Because obviously it was before, obviously you went to supermarkets and got milk. We got milk delivered in glass bottles. Yes. Everybody.
Yeah.
Right. So this dairy advertised that they always use clean milk bottles, right?
Clean.
Yeah, but it was obvious. All dairies were using clean milk bottles, but he decided to say our dairy. Do you see?
Okay, I can sort of see.
Yeah.
It's pointing out an obvious thing.
An obvious thing.
Then you sort of questioning. A bit of a cheeky.
Very cheeky, but the point is that was advertising. And now I look at adverts on TV quite critically, and they just lost the way. I mean, sometimes you're watching an advert and you don't even know what they're advertising until the last minute. That one,
usually a car advert.
That one, is it
KFC?
What KFC? What the hell?
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh my God! They dip a bloke in a what looks like
gravy.
Yeah, it looks like gravy. It's a pond.
Yeah.
And then he comes out as a chicken drumstick. and it's gross.
Oh, there's that Lynx one at the moment as well.
Yeah, for all your bits.
All your bits, yeah.
And then there's then there's that other one. I mean, everything's.
But the whole point of it is, and it's going with the sort of direction that technology is, and I've noticed it as because obviously that's my industry really, advertising in video content.
So it's a similar. We've got a similar path we followed. Really.
Absolutely, yeah. Just a different. Medium. Different time, different form of media.
Yeah,
I think a few things have suffered for it, but it's the want to be viral.
Yeah,
the thing that's wanting to be shared about. Have you seen this? I know you're saying about the KFC thing, but you wouldn't be talking about KFC right now on a podcast if it wasn't for that weird thing you saw.
Actually, that's very true. That's very true. And I mean, some things are so ridiculous that they do get discussed. And you're right. You're dead right. I hadn't thought about it that way, but
that's the whole. That is literally at the point of. Sadly, a lot of different forms of media content are just looking for those moments, those viral moments, to say why is this happening? Getting debates online. I suppose that's kind of why Doctor Who, it's going in the wrong direction for this reason, but it's going for these moments, these viral moments, to say questioning. Well, that's not.
It's backfired on them.
Backfired, yeah.
They've lost a lot of viewers, but
they're focusing more on those moments than they are the actual narratives.
Exactly.
So
I mean, to be fair, you going back to. I mean, obviously, I've watched all the Doctors live. You know, like sort of you people of your age can only watch them retrospectively, but I watched them when they were actually on TV.
Week by week, yeah.
I loved it when they brought it back for me, because you were old enough to watch it as well. Christopher Eccleston and then David Tennant. He was the best Doctor in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it was down to the writing at the time.
Yeah.
Russell T hadn't lost the plot.
Yeah.
He was very good. And then when he collaborated. with Moffat.
Yes.
They were good stories.
Oh, yeah.
But then when Moffat took over on his own, he lost the plot. So
it's the powers of
yeah, and I just think what they were trying to do, and I think Russell T's trying to make too many points, as you say.
I think a lot of them are just trying to change too much.
Yeah,
it's
and
because
Moffat tried
again,
to
it's
be
that kind of looking for that moment.
And Moffat tried to be too different. So his storylines weren't as good as what he'd had when he collaborated with the Russell T in the
arguably though.
David Tennant days.
I think when we first sort of watched Moffat's era, we were sort of, there's obviously, the more you watch of it, the more you've got to compare to. We were watching
critical.
Yeah, we were watching it and sort of saying, well, it's not as good as that, what we found watching it again is we do really enjoy Moffat's era.
Yeah, I get that.
So to say it's better than what's come so.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, a Shart's favourite eras of Doctor Who is Matt Smith's era.
I didn't want to like Matt Smith, I'll be honest with you, because obviously I was like gutted. However, I wouldn't say I like all of his episodes. No. And I certainly haven't rewatched them because I'm not, I'm of an age where I'm not that interested. But I did grow to like him.
Yeah.
I did grow to like, and I remember saying, I don't really want to like him, but I did.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good. But out of, if my favourite, out of the three modern Doctors, I would say Matt Smith's third, Christopher Eccleston is second, and David Tennant's first, in my book.
Yeah.
Having said that, I haven't watched any of...
Capaldi or...
I watched a couple of Capaldis. I thought it was ridiculous with the sunglasses. And yet he's a great actor, and he's been in some great things, and I think this is the sad thing.
I would say there's never been a bad Doctor.
Do you know the one I didn't like from the early days?
You say Sylvester?
Yeah. I just didn't, I couldn't get him.
That's interesting, that.
I couldn't get him at all. I've never rewatched anything.
Yeah.
And I went through a few regenerations, as you know.
Yeah.
But he was one that, and I could get into most of them.
Yeah.
But he just didn't do it for me. It was, and we still watched it.
Yeah.
But just didn't do it.
There wasn't enough time to click with the
No.
He wasn't in, I haven't seen much of his stuff, but I'd say one of my favourite doctors is Jodie Whittaker's doctor, but I didn't feel much for the writing. But her as a doctor was really good.
Yeah, I partly agree with that. I partly agree with that. It was brave because she was like the first woman one.
Yeah.
She was quirky. I liked that about her. I do remember that, like David Tennant's days and whatnot, they still had a little bit, sometimes had a bit of a message, but it wasn't rammed down your throat.
Yeah, it was. I think there's the messages that they tried to portray were very subtle. Like it was blending with the narrative, and it wasn't sort of.
I suppose you've got to think it's of the time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Though I think it's just a little bit sad that people are pushing back now against being forced into the minority preaching to the majority, and we'll just have to leave that there. I think. Cause
if you were a showrunner for Doctor Who.
If I was a what?
If you were a showrunner for Doctor Who.
A showrunner? What's it been?
Well, like an executive producer, like the sort of role that Russell T and...
I thought you meant making tea. A runner?
No. Showrunner. What would your ideal... Well, who would you cast as a doctor?
Oh, right.
I mean, I know that's not the role of a... Well, it's kind of the role of the showrunner, but like if you wanted to do your own sort of era... someone who you might feel would carry.
Oh, I think that would, for me, if you'd asked me that a couple of weeks ago, I think my my choice would change depending on what I'd watched on TV recently. I've just watched Mobland with Tom Hardy.
Oh, right, okay.
On Paramount Plus. Really violent.
Okay.
And it's really, it's about Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
Plays a blinder. I've never seen him play such a nasty piece of work.
Right,
he really is. Honestly, I swear to God. I got into it obviously late. I'm always a little bit late with things.
Right.
But we've literally watched it over 3 nights. There's 10 episodes. And I'm hoping they do a number 2. Also, Department Q, that was very good. But Mobland, Tom Hardy.
Okay.
I think he'd be mean, but I think... But he's got a...
I think I always thought there should be a real, like, a dark doctor.
He
like
would be.
Like a sort of ruthless
But also, if you remember, Tom Hardy was also in that sci-fi thing.
In Venom.
Venom,
yeah.
You see. So I think he would be a good choice purely and simply because if people are into sci-fi, they've watched Venom, so they know him. The same audience might not have watched, like, Mobland.
No, but he's got a good range as well, though.
Fantastic. Honestly, he's so cool in this it very rarely gets sort of angry, but it's seething. It's underneath. It's like people are talking to him, and he goes, and he's sort of weighed it up, and then you think, oh shit, what's going to go on now? It's absolutely brilliant. I mean, there's shooting, there's blood, there's decapitations, there's all sorts. In Mobland's got everything you want, to be fair.
Fair enough.
But it's all about family. So there's the Irish set, which Pierce Brosnan is in charge of. And then there's this other guy who's Cockney, and it's all about drugs. He's got a fantastic car. It sounds so throaty, it's lovely. And I just think he would be a really good doctor.
Okay.
I do. But I also think he'd be a good 007. He's got it.
He's got it.
He's definitely got it.
Well, I think that might be a good note to end this episode. Tom Hardy has got it.
He's definitely got it. Recommend Mobland.
Mobland.
If you haven't watched it,
mother's recommendation.
Yeah, it's on Paramount Plus at the moment. Whenever this podcast goes out, and they do stay on Paramount Plus for a while, don't they? Streaming. It's a streaming service, and then it'll be streamed on other things, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I think that's all we've got time for this episode.
Well, it's been good
because it's first podcast.
I haven't covered anything I was going to cover zombies and all that.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of topics in this episode alone.
Yeah, I do. It's been good.
Yeah, it's been really good. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
And we shall see you in the next episode of Shy Baines Getting Out. See you later.